Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Insight 365 Marketing Sessions. We're offering these monthly virtual breakout sessions to share trends, ideas, and opportunities with you and your marketing teams. Through these sessions, we plan to keep you updated on what we're seeing in the industry, show you new features, and provide guidance on how to get the most out of the Inntopia Marketing Cloud platform. I am Patrick Sandy, and I'm the Director of Strategic Services at Inntopia and helping run today's session. Today, I'm joined here with Kurt Kinscherf, Director of Customer Insights at Inntopia, and Lindsay Holler, a Director of Client Services at Inntopia. Today, Lindsay and Kurt are going to lead a conversation on season pass sales strategies. So let's go ahead and kick things off. Kurt, Lindsay, welcome.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks.
So yeah, it's that time of year again. It's somehow already March, and the big players are already announcing season pass sales. So we're starting to see them fire up as we speak. And we thought it'd be helpful to bring you some helpful tips about season pass sales strategies, best practices, reporting, all the good stuff you can do in Inntopia Marketing Cloud. So just a quick little intro here. Lindsay, why don't you take us through a high-level overview of what we're going to go through today, and then we can cruise on through.
Yeah, definitely. When asking guests to commit to your resort for this season or for seasons to come, we want to make sure that their experience is as good as possible and that we make it as easy and compelling for them to renew as it can be. So we're going to, like Kurt said, we're going to walk through a couple of the key strategies that we would recommend in implementing a season pass sales launch using CRM tools here in Inntopia Marketing Cloud, and also great tools to measure your success, evaluate, and adjust your strategy as you go through your sales cycle.
Great. Yeah, as we all know, this is the biggest revenue push for our winter mountain resorts, and so this is one of the most crucial times of the year, and especially in a highly competitive landscape like we're seeing now. So just a couple quick to-dos to make sure you're set up for success. We'll jump into that now. So why don't you take us through, Liz?
Yeah, so we wanted to put together, instead of just talking really broadly about season pass sales and overarching, how important it is, we wanted to break this down a little bit for our partners so that they have a really actionable set of to-dos that will make it easier and, honestly, a little bit more organized as you go through getting everything ready for such an important launch. So what we would like to see from our partners is a set of season pass product codes. So whatever point of sale system you're using, however those products are set up, we are bringing all of that data in every single night into the Marketing Cloud database. What we would like to do is take that data and set it up so that you have access to really easy segmentation so you can follow current season pass renewals, so you can suppress those customers from receiving additional reminders, and also so you can do really cool things like track pass sales, renewals, goals, revenue units, and everything like that in your Inntopia pass reporting tools. So we will take those codes and do a couple of different segmentation and data mapping setups that will really enable a lot of the things to come that we're going to be talking about today. We also would like to talk with you about what are your reporting needs? How are you measuring success? Are you looking at pace from prior year? Are you looking to set a pace against 2 years prior? Do you have a specific goal in mind? So all of those things can really help inform how we can best set you up with the tools to measure your success and to see how things are going throughout the sales cycle. We can also do things like help you survey current season pass holders for their sentiment, their likelihood to renew. So if you want to work on a current season pass holder survey as a part of your, spring or upcoming pass sale launch, we can assist with that as well. And we also want to remind our partners not to forget about current season pass holders who are maybe on the cusp or maybe less likely to renew because they're not currently using their pass as much as they could be. So what we'd also encourage this time of the year is encourage usage of current season pass or 4-pack products, which will encourage likelihood to renew down the road. And later on in this talk, we do have a set of recommendations for pass usage and retention tips that we'll share.
Yeah, and I think the crucial thing here is sort of the keystone for all of our past efforts in Marketing Cloud is really going to be those product codes, making sure we have the most up to date version. I know this time of year can be crazy in ticket offices and stuff, but we really do need those updated product codes because it's going to serve as the foundation for all other sort of pass related activities. That helps us set up what we call the pass groupings. So your crazy alphanumeric, product header codes and DCIs actually make sense to us. So that allows us to do those user-friendly groupings, something like, Premier Pass Holder or 4-day pass, those types of things out of all those product codes. And all these other efforts will really come from there. So really reach out, do your best effort to reach out to your ticket office or whoever sets up those product codes to make sure we get the most up to date. Occasionally, it'll be September and all of a sudden we realize, these numbers don't look right, and it goes back to maybe not getting the most up-to-date product codes. So that's really crucial for all these efforts to make sure everything's accurate throughout the sales season. So
Exactly. Thanks. Yeah, that'll help us really set the table for the rest of the strategies that you're looking to execute.
yeah. And occasionally we'll just be like, oh, those are the same ones as last year, and very rarely is that case. There's always a few sort of outliers that we need to make sure we update. So that's the crucial first step for all of this. Cool. So, and now we're just going to jump through some of those strategies that we were hinting at earlier. But these are great ways to set up some automated campaigns that are really high ROI campaigns, drive those sales. So maybe you could take us through these examples, Lindsay.
Yeah, exactly. I like to start thinking about these as how the guest is moving through the season pass holder life cycle, right? So
Yeah.
right now I might have someone who is a current pass holder this year and I really want to retain them for next year. So in addition to all of my exciting pricing deadlines and things like that, we would really recommend setting up a very simple but very effective campaign called a purchase anniversary email. So this really personalizes the pass reminder to when that particular guest purchased their pass before. So this is a really great way to kind of fill the funnel in between your big pricing deadlines by using the guest's anniversary pass purchase date from the prior year to trigger a reminder that, hey, Lindsay, it's time to buy. Just as you would any other type of lodging or vacation package booking anniversary email. These types of past purchase anniversary emails are just as effective, if not more effective, because it really just reminds people about when it's time in their mind to purchase a pass, they're going to be getting that reminder from your resort, and hopefully put you at the top of their mind as they're thinking about where they're thinking about skiing and riding next season.
Yeah, and it makes it just a little more human too. We all get inundated with a ton of, resort emails this time of year for past deadlines, multiple times leading up to deadlines. And this is just sort of that very personal kick in the pants, like, hey, you bought last time and this time last year. And, sort of take them out of the, yeah, I'll get to it later kind of a mindset. So, yeah.
Exactly. And you can set this up as a one and done, or you can set it up as a multi-step, maybe remind people every 30 days. And again, this kind of goes back to making sure that we're removing people who already do renew their pass so that they don't continue to get the reminder once they've already renewed. So yeah, work with us and we can help get something like this set up as the first step in kind of that life cycle.
A bit Banner Browse is another big one. Obviously, we get a lot of people shopping. There's lots of alternatives these days. So, yeah, Lindsay, take us through this one and just sort of outline, the tech that sort of is underlying this and some good examples.
Yeah, so let's taking our life cycle example another step further. So somebody either gets one of our past deadline or past anniversary reminder emails, and they're shopping on the site, and they're looking to see, they're looking on your season pass page, they're checking out the current lineup, but they don't, for whatever reason, buy that day. You can use some web tracking, very simple pixel technology, to retarget people who were showing intent to buy a season pass or other type of product, but without actually going through the conversion. So you can use web browsing to really kind of follow up and really speak to the reasons that they may not have made the purchase the first day they were on the site. Maybe they have questions. Maybe you can drop them your phone number and the hours that they can speak to a specialist in your season pass office, and kind of speak to any barriers that they might be experiencing. And at the very least, really what this can serve to do is just put another reminder in front of them that, hey, we're still here whenever you're ready to buy the pass. And it really, again, like Kurt was saying, it's on their time. They were just on the site, so they were showing an intent to purchase. So it's another really timely reminder, with a little bit more information about how and when to purchase the pass if they would like to.
Yeah, and Lindsay sort of hinted at it. It's a good opportunity to potentially remove some of the barriers to commitment. So if you have a really complicated pass mix or anything like that, you could use this opportunity to include links to FAQs. I know some people have sort of pass, fit tools on their website to, show me what's the best pass for me, kind of a thing. So it's not only a nudge, but it's also an opportunity to sort of remove some of those barriers to commitment. So
Exactly.
yeah. Cool. And now obviously post-purchase. So a little different, but yeah, it's another great opportunity. These are your most loyal audience. And so it's a good opportunity for fulfilling all sorts of different, business needs. But maybe take us through this example.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny that this one shows up, I think, in the life cycle, because it's like, well, Lindsay, wait, they already bought a pass, and now we're good, right? But like Kurt said, these are some of your most loyal and probably most valuable guests. So use their season pass purchase date to trigger a post-purchase email. It's a really great opportunity to thank your guests for committing to your resort for another season, and just remind them of all of the great benefits and maybe some next steps to like picking up some free swag, or how do they get their pass, or if there's any pass holder events, pass holder appreciation things. In addition to kind of their regular email confirmation, this is a place where you can really flex your fun branding muscle and genuinely let people know that you're excited that they decided to stick with you for another season, and just reiterate the benefits. So yeah, I think this is a really nice, non-salesy message, but that can really enhance, kind of the warm and fuzzy feeling that, you hope your pass holders would get once they lock in their pass with you for next year.
Yeah, and I've seen some really creative executions of this. Definitely makes a lot of sense if you're a resort that offers spring pass sales where you can utilize that pass this season,
Yep.
sort of get them to get back out on the hill. But also seen some really cool things with social media where it's like, you just bought your pass, share it with your friends to sort of create those network effects. We see this with a lot of the bigger passes where it almost creates a little subculture because you go skiing with your friends that have that type of pass. So it's a good opportunity for some social network effects as well. And there's some pretty easy tools where you could say, share this on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. So good opportunity to build that brand loyalty as well. So yeah. And then the upgrade. So lots of y'all have other sort of adjacent products that you can add on to a pass. And if that's the case with you guys, this is perfect opportunity in that post purchase. So sort of some of those complementary pass products. Yeah, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I think this is a great, it can stand by itself. You can send these out kind of periodically to guests in, different segments, all at once, or it can pair with the post-purchase email, and you can do a couple variations of your post-purchase for people who do or do not purchase, like that premier or that, access level. This is a way to kind of remind people that you have additional offerings and they can further customize their pass. So yeah, you can use purchase date to deliver this, and or other varieties of segmentation with your product mix to just further tailor some messaging and maybe even some upsell.
Yeah, and I've seen some interesting uses of this. This example here is showing Fast Tracks, which is kind of an add-on product. But I've seen, in seasons where maybe it wasn't a great snow year this year, so maybe people are buying a smaller product, like a multi-use product, versus a full season pass product. and maybe past sales didn't go as well as you would have hoped. People reaching out with an actual upgrade from like a smaller pass to a bigger pass product, just sort of whether it be a payment plan or something like that. So there's always that sort of opportunity for creativity. By offering almost like a seat upgrade on an airline, you're offering a pass upgrade for maybe people who bought a lesser product or a smaller product. So also good stuff. So. And then reporting. So you do all this stuff, and obviously, it's you're going to have the finance folks and everybody else wondering how things are pacing year over year. So we've developed a full suite of very specific pass reports, whether that's sales or migration or whatever it may be. We have quite a few. So we're just going to walk you through a few of those reports that we recommend, how to interpret them, and what we recommend focusing on. So yeah, why don't you walk us through here?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of our partners are familiar with pass migration. This is a tool that's been really core to our systems for years and years. And so we have a great visualization of that tool in our intelligence area of Marketing Cloud. But a couple of pieces of feedback we've gotten over the years about that tool is, hey, we really just want a more of a weekly report sent to my inbox or maybe sent to my finance manager. I don't want to have to go in and pull the data. So, hey, Kurt and his fabulous customer insights team have developed those exact tools to meet that request. And one of them is shown here. This is our pass pace dashboard. So this shows just kind of in a very nice, clean, one page at a glance, hey, what are my total sales? What are the total units? Who is renewed? Who's net new? And then a paced view, in the date range. So you can set these really custom, what's the prior start period, what's the current period of it, and then compare them, however you want to do it. And I have partners do it like the full season, or I have partners that do it just from deadline to deadline. So we can set these up, really customize them however you want. And then those bottom four modules there can also be customized to show, maybe state isn't as important to you, but MSA is important, or maybe age range is more important to you than anything else. So we can really, display, your core KPIs in this one-page report and just make it as meaningful as possible. And the nicest thing about this report is not only is it really customizable, but we can enable automated pushes of these at a specific date and time to specific recipients so that the data is just at your fingertips and hopefully super actionable. We also have, in addition to this pass pacing dashboard, which really just compares year over year or year over 2 years, we have a goal report that's very similar in look and feel to this one, but that actually lets you set a forward-looking either revenue goal or unit goal and show your pace to that. So I think that our business intelligence team has just done a really excellent job of coming up with really just any look and feel and style and distribution of report that you could need to check in on pass reporting.
Yeah, and it's helpful because this breaks it down in a couple different ways. So you can really see which product groupings are doing well versus the prior year. But also, it could be markets if you're using state, MSAs. So if you need to focus marketing efforts into a specific area, it really lends itself well to that. Whereas, finance numbers tend to just be numbers, revenue. This allows us to break into some of those geographic and demographic variables that'll help tailor your marketing message and where you need to focus. So. Cool. So now we've kind of talked all about that, like what do we do now for past sales, but we also wanted to include something for maybe next season, or just more broader past sales knowledge. But we always feel that the best way to get somebody to renew is to get them to ski this year or in season. And so there's a variety of different tactics we recommend for that. That we're going to walk through here, but yeah, just generally, somebody's more likely to renew if they felt they got value out of their current pass. And it's much easier to sell to somebody who's renewing versus a net new pass holder. So this slide is going to talk about some of those tactics as to how to make sure people are actually using and getting the most value out of their pass. So
exactly. And this kind of plays to some of the messaging that we talked about, like post-purchase, reminding people of benefits. But yeah, like Kurt was saying, don't really check out on your pass holders during the season. Just because they're pass holders doesn't mean you don't need to continue to nurture that relationship. So some ideas to keep pass holders engaged throughout the season include reminders of their specific pass benefits, maybe rewards, surprise and delight with some food and beverage, midweek vouchers if you're able to do that. Now that events are really in full swing at resorts again, make sure you're promoting your events to pass holders. They're probably likely to be around or be available to attend those events and probably take advantage of them. Or even consider doing some special pass holder appreciation or pass holder recognition, either through VIP parties or even just, hey, you paid off your pass, or hey, you skied here over 20 times. You're going to get this really cool piece of swag that you only get if you come, if you're like a really frequent skier here. This year, I think, we're given the gift of all this amazing snow in a lot of key markets. So, really leaning into that extended season messaging too can get people to really, get some extra money's worth out of that season pass. And hopefully, give them that good feeling of, yeah, I totally got my worth out of this and I'm definitely going to renew. In order to really dive into, the usage-based strategy here, having a feel for how many people have or have not used their pass is going to be, step one. So take a look in your pass scan data, and we can help you with this if you need a hand. But just to see, how many guests have skied, between 0 and X number of times. And if you have a big group of people who kind of haven't reached that break-even point, those are the ones you're going to want to talk to more during the season to make sure that they're coming back and that they're getting their value out of your pass. Because like Kurt was saying, we've done some studies over the years, and just, the difference between someone who used their pass 0 to 4 times compared with someone who uses their pass upwards of 9 or more times, the rate of renewal almost doubles. And the more someone's using their pass, right? And this makes sense with anything, if gym memberships or anything like that, the more likely you are to keep renewing that product, right, Kurt?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it really depends on what the price of your particular pass is, where that break even falls in that 5 to 9 range. But typically we see it, anywhere from after like 6 days, the chances of renewal really goes up exponentially. But just sort of walking back, like those pass holder type milestone emails are really easy to set up, and they may seem small or trivial, but people really enjoy them, whether it's sending the simple welcome after a first scan, all the way up to like your 10-day, your 20-day, your 50-day, your 100-day in certain instances. People use them as sort of a badge of honor type scenario, so they're really well received. It's a really good opportunity, again, for that brand loyalty, maybe to give them some sort of perk. They're really well received. People tend to overlook those on their like full season passes, because they're like, yeah, they're already bought in or whatever. But they do go over really well. Where they're even more crucial, I feel like, are on the multi-day products, so like a 4-day or a 6-day pass. And it's really helpful to get them through the process of using their tickets, but also continuing to use them, because we see as people sort of approach their max number of days, say if it's a 6-day pass, once they get to 4, they start getting a little pickier about using their days. So it's a really good opportunity, if this is something you guys do, to say like, hey, don't worry, after your 6th day, you could buy additional days at X rate or whatever. I know a lot of resorts do that, especially in good snow years. So it's a really good way to get people and pull them through the full usage of their pass, and to avoid the hoarding of days that may or may not ever get used. So just the concept of scan-based messaging based on your own product mix is really crucial in that retention and full usage. And there's some really creative ways to do that we could help with. So that's all we have for you today. I will mention we do have a full playbook available on all things season passes. If you go into Insight and go to the Resource Center, which if you click down on the little Inntopia compass down on the lower right of your screen, in the announcement section, the first announcement in there's a link to the full playbook. You could download that. And otherwise, we're here to help. If you need help setting up any of these or just want to chat strategy, you can reach out to your account manager, the partner success team. Lindsay, anything else you had before we wrap?
No, I would say hopefully you learned a tip or two, and thanks for joining. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.